Well, it's with mixed emotions that it's now time for me to turn over the gavel. And again, I want to thank all of you for your support. But as I told you, I care deeply about this organization. And one of the things that you want to ensure is that the person who comes along next is somebody who cares deeply as well. And I'm very excited and proud and honored and looking forward to the leadership of Governor Steve Bullock of the great state of Montana. And I've had the opportunity to work with him through the National Governors Association, through the Western Governors Association, and have really admired you from afar for what you've done for your state and for his leadership skills. But I'm going to tell a little anecdote, and I hope you're okay with it. Yeah, what could go wrong? But no, it's innocent enough. But there was an initiative, and it's called Breakfast at the Bell. And it's all of you can agree, it's very important that children, if they're hungry, they're not going to learn well. And Jeff Bridges has this initiative to ensure that kids can eat at school and have this Breakfast at the Bell. And he was coming to Nevada, and he had already visited Montana, so I thought I would look up and see how it went, so I knew it was coming. And Governor Bullock had visited, I'm not sure if it was a school or a YMCA or community center or something like that, and he was going along with Jeff Bridges, and they went in a classroom and they were playing some music. And the group started dancing, Jeff Bridges started dancing, and they were trying to encourage the governor to join in, but he did join in. And he wanted to make sure that he supported all those kids and make them happy, and I thought to myself, that's the right guy. That is a guy who cares deeply about children and about education and about doing the right thing. So with that, it gives me great pleasure and honor to introduce Steve Bullock, the governor of the great state of Montana.
Thank you, Governor Sandoval, for that kind introduction. Please don't go Googling that, because I was dragged out by Jeff Bridges. But more than just the introduction, I followed Governor Sandoval's efforts with ECS and on the English language learner policies during your term as ECS chair, and have been pleased to see more attention focused in such a critical area. More than that, though, and the governor mentioned it, but I've had the opportunity to follow Governor Sandoval in all of his facets as governor. And it was just last week I had the opportunity to spend with Brian as he wrapped up his term as Western Governors Association chair. And I'll tell you that his thoughtful involvement and leadership makes a difference not only to Nevada, but our entire nation. So thank you again, Governor, for your service to ECS. It is my real profound pleasure to get to step in and as the chair of ECS for the next 2 years. Each and every day during the academic year, my wife, Lisa, and I surrender the most valuable of our earthly belongings to someone else's possession and care. We're the very proud parents of a 13-year-old, a 10-year-old, and an 8-year-old children. And as you might imagine, our public school system, its successes and its setbacks, is the regular conversation around the Bullock dinner table. And I think that's really important for us all to remember. As ECS commissioners, we come together to discuss trends and opportunities and challenges in our education system, how we can individually and collectively make improvements. But we can't forget that whether you're a governor or a grocer, a dock worker, or a doctor, there's perhaps no public policy issue that's as deeply personal as is education. Parents and taxpayers have expectations of what this system of education can do for their children and families. When it succeeds, the joys are filled much greater. When it stumbles, the same holds true. We've seen some real incredible things happen in Montana, and as a result, I'm excited to get to take the helm as ECS chair. In Montana, we've made record investments in our K-12 system, but more importantly than that, we're seeing record results. Graduation rates highest they've ever been since we started tracking graduation rates. 8th graders leading the nation in science, coming in at 6th for both reading and math. We're working to make higher education affordable. Repeated tuition freezes. We're working to make it accessible and successful. Implementing performance-based funding. Employing tools like EdReady to ensure that students don't lose valuable time taking remedial coursework when they get to our institutions. We're connecting higher education to our business community, making sure that we have those pipelines of talent and trained workers. We've also raised greater awareness that to really prepare for a 21st century economy, we need to begin not when our children enter the workforce, but when they enter the world. Though I wasn't entirely successful in obtaining funding for pre-K this year, we're moving forward to make sure that Montanans, 4-year-olds, have access to high-quality preschool experiences. So I think from my seat and hopefully from yours, it really is an exciting time to be part of our educational system. And there's so many different avenues from my perspective which I could try to leave my mark as ECS chair. And it is difficult to choose. After great thought, however, I've chosen dual enrollment. High school students receiving college credits while still in high school as my chair's initiative. Our education system must focus on ensuring our students are college and career ready. And I sincerely believe that our efforts to innovate in dual enrollment are a foundational cornerstone of doing so. And the opportunity isn't just to ensure that our highest performers can get a head start on their college education, controlling costs and ensuring that the students complete their degree. I think the greater opportunity is to reach out to that young man or woman who was never told and who was never believed that they might be college material, to reach them while they're still in the seeming controlled and safe environment of a high school so we can open up the world that higher education could present to them. Yesterday, Jeremy told you about Tyler, his picture being over there, a student in rural Kentucky who's been a true beneficiary of a meaningful dual enrollment program. Success stories like Tyler's are ones we want to share and replicate in all of our states. In Montana, dual enrollment's growing by leaps and bounds. Number of high school students taking college classes while still in high school, over doubled since I took office from then to fall of 2014. And in more and more of our high schools across our state, when that student graduates from high school, they're also receiving a 2-year degree, an associate's degree from one of our colleges. Now, statewide, a little over 1/3 of our students are receiving their credits at one of our 2 or 4-year institutions or online. The remainder are getting those credits in a high school building. In many states, including Montana, high school-based dual enrollment makes sense in order to break down access barriers in our large rural state. However, if that's what we want to do, it's also essential that the quality of instruction and rigor of the coursework are at a college level, even though that instruction might be provided at a high school campus. That's why we started a 2-year pilot program in Montana's example, trying to incentivize high school teachers to teach those college courses. We offer those teachers a credit-for-credit coupon that could be redeemed at any of our undergraduate, our in-state graduate, undergraduate, or tribal colleges. If they're teaching a 3-credit course at the high school, they get a coupon for 3 credits at any of our higher education institutions. Teachers can use those coupons or those credits, take additional classes for themselves, pass it on to a family member, and we've seen in many instances already educators paying it forward. giving those coupons to a young man or woman in the teacher's class to give them a little bit more availability and access to higher education. Well, in Montana, as in other places, we have so much further to go. There are certain benefits that are already apparent. We know that dual credit increases access and affordability for our students. Montana families saved $3 million in this last academic year alone by getting the Head Start and earning those credits while in high school. We know that dual credit improves student success and retention. In comparison to their non-participating peers, dual enrollment students have a 16% higher rate of first-year college retention in Montana. They take and complete more credits in their first year of college, and they're better academically prepared as reflected by higher first-year GPAs. And we know that dual credit opportunities are better preparing our students for the workforce, even without earning or before they earn a 2 or 4 year degree. Career and tech education, dual enrollment is one example. It's expanded in Montana and other states, offering tremendous opportunities for students to explore options in high demand fields, welding, computing, health sciences. Example, in Great Falls, Montana, at the same time a high school graduation occurred, there were 12 students that got certificates in welding. The goal isn't always necessarily a degree. Sometimes it's additional credits, but those students were then certified to do work in Montana or the United States and Canada as well. We need to find those promising practices that help states grow dual enrollment opportunities in this area because it really is critical for our workforce demands. So I think that the potential of dual enrollment is clear, and it's time as we as education leaders prioritize improving the policies. In far too many cases, our dual enrollment programs are either outdated or have significant obstacles such as access, finances, inconsistent program quality, or no guarantee of transferability. You'll be hearing more from me and the ECS staff on my chair's initiative, so stay tuned. For now, I want to thank you for being here this week, for your dedication to education policy in your respective states, and for entrusting me with the responsibility and the real opportunity to serve as ECS chair. I look forward to getting to serve as chair over the next 2 years, also to seeing many of you at the Winter Commissioners meeting in Austin, Texas this December. Thank you again. I also am part of providing the directions for the next event. Enjoy a short break and on your way to the concurrent session at 1:30. Thanks again.